Here's again, guys. We're back again for another episode of the Grindless series. And today we're not going to be showcasing any gameplay at all. Instead, we're going to be going through what we've done so far, what's coming next, and also what we're going to do right now. So, if we go back to where we were, we have so far leveled up David King. David King has two great perks to get straight off the bat, if possible. We Can Live Forever will allow you to get more blood points quicker. Every time you get a safe unhook or take a protection hit, you'll get 1 stack of We Can Live Forever. Getting 4 stacks in a game will actually double the amount of blood points after the game. So if you max out, so somehow it's very hard on Survivor. If say you got 32,000 blood points into the game, it would actually double and give you 64,000. Very, very nice to level up a bit quicker. So we got that, and we also got Dead Hard, which is one of the strongest exhaustion perks in the game, and one of the most problem perks in the game, in my opinion. But in terms of for you, for me, our usage, very, very strong and worth getting. Next, we leveled up Jake Park, purely for 1 perk only, and that is Iron Will. Iron Will is the only good perk, his only great perk, I should say. The others have uses, but Iron Will is the one we want. Iron Will allows you, when you're injured, to reduce those sounds of pain by 100%, which means you're completely silent while injured. There is a caveat with that. The killers are able to get a perk from the nurse called Strider, which can then bring back up that volume level so they can hear you. So you're not completely impenetrable of making noises, but 9 times out of 10 you will get use out of Iron Will, and it's very, very strong. It's possibly the strongest survivor perk you can put on. In terms of overall use, it's just, you get use out of it without knowing. But that's why people don't classify it as a top. I think Iron Will is great. I reckon Iron Will has easily saved my life more times than any of your instant gratification perks like Adrenaline, Decisive Strike, Unbreakable, yada yada yada. I think that has helped me out more. Moving forward then, what are we going to do? Next up, we're going to be leveling up Bill. If you're on console, I'm sorry, I don't think Bill is available, but I believe that Borrowed Time and Unbreakable are available by default on the Blood website. You got no issues there at all. You're absolutely doing fine. If you are on PC, then you need to get Bill leveled up. Borrowed Time is great. It lets you get safe unhooks every single time. Don't get twisted on there. I think the terminology for safe unhook and unsafe is a little bit too vague. I've seen Borrowed Time used wrong. People run up to hooks unhooking people when the killer is right there. That to me should never classify as a safe unhook. But in terms of mechanics, it is classified as a safe unhook. Again, a safe unhook will then link in very nicely with David King's We Can Live Forever, so you can see the synergy already. It allows you to get those stacks a lot easier, so that allows you to get more blood points a lot easier. Unbreakable allows you to pick yourself up off the floor once per match, so if you're in the dying state, in your recover, you can actually go up to 100% on your recovery bar, and you also get a bit of extra speed as well doing it. It allows you to pick yourself back up. So if the killer's slugging and you've got Unbreakable, you've got a good chance of kind of resetting the game and really getting that game back strong on your side, hopefully. So then we're going to level up Bill next, and then after that we're looking at some other perks. We're looking at maybe Bond for Dwight, which is what I was originally going to go for. Bond is great to know where everyone is, great information. Prove yourself can come in useful to get generators done quicker, but it's not a necessity. Leader is also nice to have, but again, not a necessity. So really we're only looking mainly at Bond. Near Balanced Landing, great perk, I love it. Very situational. It's probably my favourite exhaustion perk, but it's not the best exhaustion perk. Meg has Quick and Quiet, which is kind of nice, probably not necessary. Spring Burst is, in my opinion, best exhaustion perk you can have, because it's got many uses in many different locations. You can kind of use it as Dead Hard, but you can also use it just to gain distance really quickly when the killer's actually showing up. You can use it when you're injured, when you're healthy. It is great. And Adrenaline is a fantastic perk at the end of the game, but the only downside with that is it's only usable 1 time only. If you say you're on a hook and the killer's camping at the end of the game, someone comes to save you off the hook. If you got Adrenaline and the last generator was done before you were hooked, when you're unhooked, Adrenaline will actually proc then as well, so you can actually bypass a camping killer and get it the extra get overlay. So it can be very, very strong in certain situations. But the caveat is it's only used 1 time. And we're not going to level up Claudette at all. Not a big fan of her perks. Empathy is just a poor man's bond, in my opinion. It has its uses if you've got a healing build, don't get me wrong. But bond just does so much more. Bonding knowledge. Good if you want to heal up a little bit quicker, but usually the speed boost you get from bonding knowledge doesn't make that much of a difference. Usually the killer doesn't really come back, or if you're going to start healing somebody up, you're usually in a safe spot. So bonding knowledge, yeah, it's nice, but not necessary at all. And self-care. If you're something like bond, you don't need self-care. Self-care reduces your healing speed by 50%, makes it a lot slower. And often you're using it at the wrong times, the wrong place. You're into a bad habit of feeling like you have to be healthy when you don't have to be. So that's why we're not going to level up Claudette. In terms of unlocking any other characters, right now I'm not seeing anybody that I'm thinking that we need to unlock with Iri Shards. Remember, we're not unlocking any DLC, no, sorry, any characters for any shows or anything like that. So Jill Valentine and that from Resident Evil, not getting unlocked. You know, Steve Harrington not getting unlocked. And there's no real major, like, amazing perks. The problem with the Survivor, he's a very stronger base. You don't need perks to really do well, and the perks you might need, you kind of get them from the original set. So we'll move over to killers now, and we'll have a peek there at what we're looking at. So what we've done so far is a leveled up Hillbilly, and our main priority is to get Enduring from Hillbilly. That's going to be our main first teachable perk we unlock in the killers. Apart from, we have already unlocked Barbecue and Chili off the Shrine of Secrets. Great perk to unlock. With this series, we're not, like I say, we're not doing any we're not unlocking any characters that we'd have to pay money for. So, you know, Nemesis, but more importantly, we're not going to be unlocking Leatherface, which is where you'd get Barbecue and Chili from. So getting it from the Shrine is a great thing we've done. Really happy with that. So we're going to get Enduring from Hillbilly first of all, and then we're looking at some other things. What else can we get here? We can probably get Brutal Strength and Agitation from Trapper, both two nice perks. We're not going to really get anything from Wraith, I don't think. Nurse, and Nurse's Corner is nice. Strider can be useful on like Spirit if you want to go that route. Nothing from Huntress. So expect Huntress not to get leveled up, Wraith not to get leveled up too much. And then we're looking at unlocking a character, and we have actually got 9,000 iridescent shards. And that's where this episode really comes in now. This is where we decide what killer we're going to unlock. We have many choices, many options, many different reasons you might want to unlock your first killer. If you're going for base perks, if you're going for just a character that you want to level up for the perks, you'd probably go with Clown. Pop Goes Wizard is fantastic aggressing perk, and Bamboozle as its uses as well. But then it gets a bit tough because Clown is a very, very weak killer, and he has a few bugs right now in the current patch we're on. So then what are the options? Well, potentially Blight. Hex Undying is very good with other Hex Totems, but the downside is we haven't got many Hex Totems at all to use. Blight is also a very powerful killer. So if we was to get him, we would know we'd have a very strong killer straight off the bat where we could use Barbecue and Chili to really maximise those blood points and level up people really, really quickly. But again, you kind of want perks as well at the same time. Twins, strong killer. I'm currently trying to learn them on my main account. But the perks aren't that good. Hoarder give you information when people are going through chests, but that's very situational, and usually you don't want to just go after somebody because you might already be after somebody. Oppression works kind of like a downsized ruin. When you kick a generator, all other generators which already got progress on them will start regressing, or the survivors that are on generators will get a very difficult skill check. But it's just one of those perks where you can't guarantee people off generators. You can't guarantee they're not going to hit their skill checks. It's nah. And obviously the aggression is at a normal speed, so it's a difficult one. Coup de grace isn't that strong, needs buffing a little bit. So then we're looking down at Death Sting. I'm not good with his perks at all. I couldn't tell you if they're good or not. Decent killer. Loses a lot of map pressure because of how slow he is, but he's a decent killer in the 1v1s. But I think overall we're not going to bother getting him. Oni, very strong killer, very nice. Nemesis is good in certain situations, different builds. Zanction Tactics is nice to know where pallets and windows are, but not necessary at all. But Echo can be nice, certain killers, but generally not one you really want to be running. Plague comes next, Corrupt Intervention, and Infectious Fright, and even Dark Devotion are 3 perks that I would actually use on different killers for different reasons. So, I mean, Plague is right over there. She's also fairly strong. She's in that, like, mid bracket, top mid if you're good at blue plague. I'm not the best plague, so I'd say like mid bracket for me. He's definitely in the mix, I'd say, to unlock next. Legion. Discordance is a nice perk. Other than that, no, he's also quite weak. But the good thing with Legion is that you do tend to get a lot of blood points with him. His ability to get a very easy first hit and then begin pursuing straight away immediately allow you to get quick hooks potentially if the tiles work out well for you. But the downside is you are just one killer. Other than that, and you do get your ass kicked from them 9 times out of 10 against a competent team. Spirit Fury is good. It works well with Enduring as well, which is a perk that we're trying to get up straight away. Rancor can be nice, but it's not a perk I use. And Haunted Ground is a perk that's nice to snowball early on, but again, a perk that I don't use very much at all. But she's a good killer. She's a strong killer, one that will get you blood points very quickly. So she's up there in the mix as well, I'd say. Clown's in the mix for the blood point for the perks, like I said. And then Doc. These perks don't do that much really. Monster Abuse can be a little bit overrated, I think, at times. 8 meters terror radius reduction when you're not in chase is kind of nice, especially on terror radius reduced killers, like your stealth killers or someone like Hag, which has a reduced terror radius. And moving on to Hag, Hex Ruin is a very strong perk as long as it doesn't get cleansed early on. Hag is also a very strong killer, capable of contending with some of the stronger survivors in the game, but also kind of gets stomped on a little bit by good coordinated teams that know what they're doing against it. Usually though, you're playing against players that don't fully understand the counterplay to Hag, which means that you're only usually doing fairly well with Hag, meaning you get blood points very quickly. But we've had a good build and setup. She can lose generators very, very quickly early on. And it can feel quite stressful to pull it back, even though usually the map does get condensed enough for you to really hammer in onto those survivors out of the towards the later parts of the game and really pull that game back. So Hag is very strong in the mix. I'm not too sure about it just yet though. And that is all where I got available really. Very difficult. Very difficult. Just looking at some of them again. There are pros and cons to unlocking some of these. Very tough. Very tough. If you're going for pure perks in terms of the meta, you have to pick either Hag or Clown. Just try and get one of those gen regression perks. If you're going for like a good kind of blend of the two, good perks, also strong, you might be going for like Blight or Spirit. If you're going just for a killer that's good, maybe Oni. It is a tough one. I mean, Plague's up there as well. Very tough. What are we going to pick? Honestly don't know. Honestly don't know. I had an idea for us to start the video and it's changed. It has changed. I will tell you that much. It has changed. Ooh, I think we're going to go Spirit. We're actually going to go Spirit. It's done. 9,000 points spent on Spirit for Spirit Fury and Haunted Ground. We're not really going to bother with Rancor. Make good use of Barbecue and Chili. Enduring pairs well with Spirit Fury. Ordinarily I wouldn't pair those together on Spirit because I don't think you need Spirit Fury and Enduring, but it depends what perks build we can make with her. So that's what we got, and that's where we are, and that is episode 3 of the Grindless series. Thanks so much for watching this series so far, guys. Great to have you. I hope you're enjoying it, and next episode we'll try and get some gameplay going. I'll try and show you what kind of builds we're running, how we're getting on, and then we'll level bad killers even more, and survivors potentially. Until then, guys, take care, and I'll see you very soon indeed. Ta-ta, cheerio, bye bye.